Hey guys, DC Network here, coming at you with another video. From the moment that Star Wars Tales of the Underworld got announced, while I was excited to see that we're getting more of the Tales of the series after getting Tales of the Jedi 3 years ago, getting Tales of the Empire last year, getting Tales of the Underworld now, I hope this is something that continues. If you haven't seen my review for Tales of the Underworld card above to that video, I also did reviews on Tales of the Jedi and Tales of the Empire respectively. I couldn't help but wonder, why do they keep making more content surrounding Star Wars The Clone Wars characters without actually continuing Star Wars The Clone Wars? You might be saying to yourself, DC Network, why would they continue Star Wars The Clone Wars? They finished it. They aired the finale with Season 7. There's no more Clone Wars to be had. Everything is concluded at this point. There's actually 40 more episodes of Star Wars The Clone Wars that have yet to be made. When Star Wars The Clone Wars got canceled all the way back in, I believe, 2012 at this point, Season 6, 7, and 8 were all in production, all of which being canceled except for half of Season 6 was released because they were far along in development. Presumably they released it on Netflix as Star Wars The Lost Missions, but the other half of Season 6, all of Season 7, and all of Season 8 was never released to the public. We got them in some story reel form, we got them in the form of some comics, some books as well, in Dark Disciple and Son of Dathomir respectively, but we never got the rest of those episodes, and there were 52 remaining until Season 7 came along. 12 more got released, and now we have 40 episodes of Star Wars The Clone Wars that remain unfinished. I went in depth over every single episode that is left to be made, card above to that video if you don't know what I'm talking about here, but nevertheless, I've noticed something with Lucasfilm and something with Disney's Star Wars that really is a head scratcher to me, and that is that for some reason they keep making more and more content surrounding these Clone Wars characters in Clone Wars-esque shows that are stylized after it, but yet they won't go back and make the rest of the Clone Wars. Now, I've said many times on this channel that while there are 40 episodes of the Clone Wars that remain unfinished, it really doesn't make sense to make every single one because some of them just do not fit into the Star Wars timeline anymore. Some of them are just kind of weird and just don't fit into the canon because a lot has happened since the Clone Wars was canceled, but still, there's about, I believe, like 2 season worth of episodes that could be made in a Season 8 and a Season 9, but yet they are not doing so. Instead, we're getting Star Wars Tales of the Jedi, which is very much so stylized after the Clone Wars. It's following Count Dooku and following Ahsoka, 2 major characters in Star Wars The Clone Wars. We got Star Wars Tales of the Empire, again another show that is stylized after the Clone Wars. It followed Barriss Offee, yet another Clone Wars character, and it followed Morgan Elsbeth, which is an Ahsoka live action series character, so not really connected to the Clone Wars all that much. Then we got Tales of the Underworld now, yet another series that is following Clone Wars characters. We're getting a whole arc with Asajj Ventress. We got a whole arc with Cad Bane, 2 major characters in the Clone Wars, both of whom had arcs in the Clone Wars that were a part of these canceled episodes, 8 of which being Dark Disciple following Asajj Ventress, which is directly tied into the Tales of the Underworld episodes. I won't go in depth on those episodes, but again, check out that review if you want to hear me go in depth on that topic. But we had those 8 episodes canceled for Dark Disciple. They got released as a book. Then there was a whole story arc with Cad Bane with Boba Fett, 4 episodes where Cad was going to get shot in the head and presumably die. We see that he's not dead in the time of the Bad Batch. We see that he's not dead in the time of Book of Boba Fett, but he does have that head plate that is because of the battle that happened in the Clone Wars, yet we never got to see that battle unfold on screen. If we take a step back and look outside of the shorts, if we look at the full-on series that have come since Season 7 of the Clone Wars, we got Star Wars The Bad Batch, a 3-season run of a series that is following the Bad Batch, characters from the 7th season of the Clone Wars, again a part of those canceled arcs. They have another arc where they were going to be on Kashyyyk with Yoda that never happened, yet that arc is referenced in the Bad Batch. Another show that was announced that hasn't come out yet, coming next year, we have Maul Shadow Lord, which is again taking place after the Clone Wars with another major Clone Wars character in Darth Maul. I just really don't understand why Lucasfilm seemingly keeps taking characters that were major players in the Clone Wars and they keep making new shows or shorts for these characters, and they're even appearing in other series as well. Like for example, Bo-Katan, another major Clone Wars character, is playing a major role in The Mandalorian. We have Ahsoka, yet another major Clone Wars character, is playing a major role in the Mandalorian era of shows. She has her own series in Ahsoka, and I just really don't understand when you take a step back and look at things, why are there so many major Clone Wars characters getting their own shows now, getting their own spin-off series, getting their own shorts, appearing in other Star Wars material, yet they won't go back and make more of the show? Like, it's pretty clear to me, and I remember at the time when Season 7 first came out, it was blowing away the ratings on Disney+. Plus. It was absolutely destroying the rating charts on Disney Plus. It was doing better than the first season of The Mandalorian was doing at the time. It was an absolute phenomenon having the Clone Wars back on Disney Plus. Clearly, Disney has taken notice at that. They've noticed that, hey, people want more Clone Wars. Let's give them more of these characters in their own series like Tales of the Jedi, Empire, and Underworld respectively. Star Wars The Bad Batch, Maul, Shadow Lord. We'll have them come into live action as well in The Mandalorian, and we'll give Ahsoka her own show instead of just completing the rest of the Clone Wars. Like, I really don't understand the logic here, because completing the rest of the Clone Wars is such an easy task to do because most of the groundwork is already done. The legwork for this series is complete. A lot of the animation has been completed from 10-15 years ago. Of course, it would need to be touched up because 10-15 years ago CGI is different from CGI today, but nevertheless, the groundwork there is done. The writing is done for it. Of course, it's going to be tweaked. The voice acting for some episodes has been completed as well, so I just really don't understand why they are not finishing the Clone Wars. The Clone Wars is clearly on their mind. They clearly took note of the fact that people love this series. Otherwise, we would not have gotten Tales of the Jedi, Empire, and Underworld. We would not have gotten Star Wars The Bad Batch. We would not be getting Maul, Shadow Lord, and we would not have gotten the appearances that we have gotten in these live action series. So at the end of the day, my question is, why is Disney doing all of this, but they're not making more Clone Wars? I just logically cannot wrap my head around this. It's something that's been bothering me for a little while. The day that this announcement came for Tales of the Underworld, I literally texted my friend and I was like, dude, why are we getting this but not more Clone Wars? Like, just make more Clone Wars. Like, that's what everyone wants to see, but they're not doing it. Again, I'm not complaining that Tales of the Underworld came out because I love it. I thought it was great, but we should be getting more Clone Wars. I don't understand the logic here. I don't know what Disney is doing. It's like they're saying no to free money because this is something they know will be a huge success, yet they do not want to finish it. The analogy I'll use here is in football, right? You're at like the 10-yard line, maybe the 20-yard line. You're about to score a touchdown. You're so close. If you make that extra push, you'll get those points. You'll get the touchdown, but for some reason, Disney just doesn't want to do it, and I just cannot wrap my head around it. The only logical explanation to me as to why they're not doing this is twofold. Number one, it could be that the people just at Lucasfilm just want to work on new stuff and they don't want to go back and work on the Clone Wars because they've moved on from it. That is possible, but at the end of the day, just make more Clone Wars. I mean, it's almost done. Half the work is done. You just have to go finish it. You have to make that extra push. The other thing that could be happening here, but again, this is a big if, and I could see this being the case potentially. It could be, again, like I said before, that they really want to push forward and make new original content, which is why they're not returning to the Clone Wars. But the Clone Wars 20-year anniversary is in 2028. That's only in 3 years from now. It is possible that maybe in 2027 at Star Wars Celebration, because there will be no Star Wars Celebration next year, it is possible that they announce, hey, Star Wars The Clone Wars is going to be 20 years old this year. We have some episodes that we never got to finish. We never got to put them on the air for you guys, but we're going to have a season 8 that's going to be a 20-year anniversary special. It's going to consist of maybe 16 episodes, 4 arcs from the Clone Wars that haven't been finished. We're going to give you Dark Disciple. We're going to give you Son of Dathomir. Those are going to be 12 of the 16 episodes, and then the last 4 maybe are like Crystal Crisis on Utapau, or maybe it's the Kashyyyk arc with the Bad Batch or something of the sorts. In reality, I think, as I said before, we need 2 seasons of this show. We need like 24 episodes to tell all of the arcs that I think need to be told. Again, card above to that video if you haven't seen my video dissecting every single arc and whether or not they should be made. It is possible that that's what they're doing. They're saving them for the 20-year anniversary, but at the end of the day, I just don't get why in 2020, 2021, around that period of time, we get the announcement, maybe it was 2019 even, that the Clone Wars would be returning. We finally get those episodes in the early part of this decade, and essentially you've been radio silent on doing more of the series since then. Instead, you've been making Clone Wars-esque shows, but not the Clone Wars. It's just really confusing to me, and at the end of the day, my heart of hearts, I do believe the Clone Wars will return one day. It's just a matter of when. It's not a matter of if. I do hope that that day is the 20-year anniversary for the series. I hope that in 2027 at Celebration, we get the announcement that, hey, in order to celebrate our 20-year anniversary of the release of Star Wars The Clone Wars, we're giving you the Lost Episodes Part 2. This is our new final season of the show. I hope that happens, but we will have to wait and see, because again, that's just speculation on my part. But for today, for now, I just can't logically wrap my head around why they're not making more of this show, because of, number one, the success of the series and how popular it is and how happy people were when it first returned earlier this decade with season 7 on Disney Plus. And number two, you're doing all of these shows in the style of the Clone Wars, following characters from the Clone Wars, instead of just finishing the Clone Wars. Like, I don't logically understand that, and I just, again, cannot wrap my head around. I cannot fathom what the logic is over at Lucasfilm. Why don't you just finish the Clone Wars? It's not that hard for you to do. Anyways, let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about all this. What do you guys think about the fact that they still haven't made more Clone Wars, yet they keep making these shows that are stylized after the Clone Wars and following Clone Wars characters? Do you agree with me that it's only a matter of time and we will see more Clone Wars eventually, or do you think that ship has sailed and that show is done? If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from DC Network. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.